Folks, it is that time of the week. We have to break down 5 stocks at a very high short interest that I'm looking to trade, of course, with the speculative side of my portfolio, because I'm not a complete and utter degenerate. I mean, I do have some degeneracy running through my veins, but not like some of you guys out there. I mean, some of you guys are freaking crazy, but overall, we're going to break down 5 stocks in this video that I'm looking at. We're going to break down the charts. We're going to break down some of the numbers because some of these companies just reported earnings, and we'll go over what I'm looking to do. So if y'all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and do not forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo. It is free money. Use that link down below. Check out all the details. We'll talk more about that later. And now, cheers, guys. Let's dive right into the video. So right off the bat, guys, the markets right now are not looking so pretty. We have the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow, you name it. Everything is down as the VIX is up over 2.4%, and the metals are moving up. We have gold up 0.5%, and we have silver up 0.25%. And no, we're not going to break down the markets in this video, but I figure let me just throw that in here in the beginning of the video. It's not looking so pretty, guys. It's not looking so pretty across the board. So with that being said, let's break down these 5 stocks at a very high short interest that I'm looking to trade with the speculative side of my portfolio, and we'll break down some of these charts, the numbers, all that good stuff. So right off the bat, guys, stock number 1 is Carvana, whatever the heck you want to call it. It is ticker symbol CVMA. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but this stock has been ripping over the past couple of days. Today alone, it's up almost 9%, up almost $1, and it's over $12 per share right now. And you guys can see a couple of days ago, this was on the 4th, not even a week ago, it was under $8, actually almost under $7 per share. So now it went from what, $7 to now over $12 in just the past couple of days. It is up around 80%. So let me see what this company ended up reporting. I forget exactly what they did. So they lost $1.51 in EPS, which actually beat the loss of $2 expected. And they also beat on revenue, $2.61 billion versus $2.60 billion expected. So they beat EPS and they beat on revenue. I'm not seeing anything here on guidance, but it looks like here Carvana's, whatever, losses narrow on cost-cutting campaign. That's good. And of course, guys, this company benefited from the huge spike in car prices, from the car bubble that we experienced over the past couple of years, which of course now is starting to pop. Well, it's been popping. I mean, now who knows how much air is left to come out of the bubble, but the bubble has popped for sure, and that has completely crushed Carvana's stock price. I mean, this thing was at $375. Oh my God, that is insane. $375. Now it's at $12. It is down. Even with this move over the past couple of days, it is still down 98% from all-time highs. That is insane. So the short interest right now is 56%, and you guys can probably see, I mean, we've seen arguably some shorts covering the past couple of days, right? As it went from, you know, the day it reported earnings, it went from $7 up to about $11 the next day. Then we saw another pop. That was yesterday. I believe Carvana went from $8.85, $9 all the way to $12 roughly. And this morning, if you guys take a look at it, if I pull the intraday up, it went all the way to $13. So Carvana is for sure starting to turn. I'm not saying it's going to go back to 300. There's no way, in my opinion, it ever gets back to 300. I doubt it. But now we're starting to see finally in the short term a break above the moving averages. And to say it could go to 1920, that's not too far-fetched. 1920 being the high from back in the beginning of February. So that's where I think this could be going in the very, very short term. Maybe not very short term, but ultimately with the high short interest, and it's already showing signs of squeezing, this could be getting towards the teens again, maybe towards 20. We shall see. So Carvana is number 1. Number 2 is Novavax, ticker symbol NVAX, which is also making a pretty big move today, up 36%. Very big move, up over $2.70, almost $3 in the green. It is now over $10 a share for the first time in a couple of weeks, guys. And this company, I believe they just reported earnings this morning, or was that yesterday after the bell? Actually, no, that was this morning. So they ended up doing, let me see here, guys. Let me scroll down a little bit. They ended up losing $3.41 on EPS, which beat the loss of $3.46 expected, and they ended up missing on revenue, almost $81 million versus the $87.6 million expected. So they beat EPS, and they missed on sales by about $7 million. So a pretty big miss there on sales, but they do expect full year 20 23 revenue. Oh my gosh, look at that. They see full year 23 revenue. Are you guys ready for this? Of 1.4 to 1.6 billion versus the 831 million expected. So they completely bombed EPS, or not EPS, but revenue in Q1. But it's clear to me now that they're looking to really boost up that revenue over the next couple of quarters. How is that even possible? I'm not sure exactly fundamentally what's going on here, but revenue expected 1.4 to 1.6 billion for full year 23 versus the 830 million. That's got to be a big reason why the stock is ripping right now. Again, up over 36%, and now it's starting to break out of the moving averages for the first time in, no joke, months, guys. So Novavax has a high short interest of 45%, and we have to see what it does now, as it is now breaking out of the highs from back in the middle of April. And to me, the next main resistance that I'm looking at here is anywhere from 12, maybe 13 bucks. Maybe it goes up even higher than that. So that's Novavax, ticker symbol NVAX. The next one is good old MicroStrategy. MSTR is the ticker here. This stock is up over 4.4% right now, and we haven't seen any crazy moves in the stock as of late. And the company did report earnings a couple of days ago. I think that was last Monday they reported, if I remember correctly. Let me see what they did. They did adjusted EPS of $30.59, which beat the loss of $1.28 expected, and they ended up beating on sales as well, 121 million versus 119 million expected. So nice double beat there for MicroStrategy last week, and the stock has been choppy around, let's say, $295 to about $325. So this little $30-$40 window is where it's been trading at. And as of today, again, it's up over 4%. So it is seeing a little bit of a spike above that 180 SMA, which is a good sign for the bulls. But now let's see if we can make a move back to the mid 300s. I think that's where the money could be made. Maybe a move back towards 330, 335, 350, right? 350 being where it was back in the middle of April. That's where it could be going. So MicroStrategy has a short interest right now of 30%. Let's see if it can make that move. And before we talk about the next stock, guys, if you have not gone up to 15 free stocks yet for Moomoo, what the heck are you waiting for? Use that link down below. Once you open up an account, you get 1 free share of stock right off the bat. Once you fund your account with at least $100, you get 4 more stocks, totaling 5 stocks. And listen to this, guys. Once you fund your account with at least $1,000, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. And of course, that link helps out the channel. All those links down below help out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, cheers. Let's talk about the next one, which I haven't talked about in a long time, very long time here on the channel. It is Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. And you guys probably remember this stock used to be, what, 50, 60 bucks? I remember I first started trading this thing years ago. This was back in February 2020, I believe. I remember I was in, funny enough, I was in Disneyland, or Disney World. I was in Florida, right? Disney World. I forget. Sometimes I mix those up. I was in Disney World February 2020 when this thing was going ballistic. You actually can't even see it here on the chart. Let me pull up the max chart. Now we're talking a couple years ago, right? This is where it started to pop off originally. It was at $10. It ran up all the way to $40. I remember I was trading on my phone back then, at the parks, right? Trading Virgin Galactic. And this thing has had many runs up to that point. It ran up to 40 bucks, then it collapsed again. Then it ran to 60, collapsed again. Saw another run to 58, 60. Now it's collapsing again. Now it's pretty much a penny stock down to $4 per share. And today it's up 2%, but yesterday it was up even more as we got news that Virgin Galactic will fly to space for the first time in nearly 2 years later this month, at some point later in May, if all goes according to plan. The company ended up announcing on May 8th, that was yesterday, that it was targeting late May for Unity 25 as 5th ever space flight, and first since July 2021. I didn't realize it's been almost 2 years, guys, since they've flown. When Virgin Group founder back in July 2021, Richard Branson went aloft with 3 other passengers, which you guys probably remember that. And dang, it's been 2 years already since that point. That goes to show, again, I have not been tracking the stock at all recently. I mean, it's been completely off the radar, and time just flies, guys. When you don't pay attention to a certain company, certain stock, or just in general, I mean, time time could just zip right by, and that's the case here with Virgin Galactic. Their short interest is 27.4% right now, which is pretty high, and now it's moving above the moving averages for the first time in a couple of months, probably since the beginning of March. Yeah, beginning of March of 2023. So now it's breaking out. Let's see if we can get more momentum. And what you guys have to realize is with stocks like Virgin Galactic, especially with this company, we see a lot of hype around their test flights, around their flights in general. Whenever we get a flight announced, there's a lot of hype around it, and if it's successful, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan, the stock could go up even more after that. So don't be surprised if this moves even more aggressively moving forward, heading into that flight, and after the flight, if it happens, and if everything hopefully goes well. So the last stock for the video, guys, and by the way, I appreciate you all for sticking on throughout the video. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We're almost at 30,000 subs, guys. That is the goal here in the short term. Make sure to subscribe. The last one is Bluebird, which I believe I called out the last short squeeze video I made a couple weeks ago, and this has been doing fairly well. Today it's up over 13 or around 13%, over $4 per share. Well, it's been over $4 the past couple of trading days, but now it's starting to break out of 470, which you guys can see that was the high from the end of March, all throughout pretty much all of April. Now in the beginning of May as well, we were failing at 470. Now we're starting to break out of that point and above the moving averages, and we have a golden cross, which is really bullish overall for this particular company. So this is it's an interesting one, right? They have a high short interest, like all these stocks do, of 25.6%, and they reported earnings, it looks like this morning, right? Or was that yesterday? Actually, no, that was this morning. It looks like they did EPS of 21 cents on revenue of $2.38 million. So it's a very small company, guys, very small company. And it looks like here EPS is up a ton year over year. Same with revenue. Well, maybe not as much as EPS, but still both of them are up year over year, which is great. And to me, guys, as long as Bluebird can hold above 470, 480, the bulls are going to be in charge. And now again, we're above the moving averages. We're starting to break out for the first time in months. And on top of that, we do have arguably an inverse head and shoulders here, which you guys can see. We have the left shoulder, we have the head right here, boom, and we have the right shoulder right here. Let's see how that plays out, and if we could start moving past $5. So overall, guys, those are 5 stocks that I'm looking at right now, again, with the more speculative side of the portfolio. So, me personally, guys, I'm not trading these with money that I'm willing to lose. And honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't trade these stocks with money I was willing to lose. But of course, you're free to do whatever you want. So, yeah, take it for what it is, guys. With that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. Hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and 12 stocks from Webull, up to 27 stocks, guys. Free money. Link down below. And of course, all those links help out the channel. Feel free to check out my Patreon as well. If you guys want to be a part of the Discord, you want to see my Patreon portfolio as I'm buying stocks every single week in that portfolio. And if you want to see my charts and ideas and all that good stuff throughout the day, all of that's on Patreon. Link down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next video.